Hi, I'm Steph, and I have been bullet journaling since 2020. One of my most favorite things about this practice is it gives me a way to visualize goals and intentions. There is just something about writing them down and designing them. It helps them become more real to me, and I find that I'm more accountable to them. It works, I'm telling you. So this video is actually the second part of a two-part video reveal. The first video is where I do the full page setup for the month of March. If you haven't had a chance to watch that yet, I highly encourage you to do it. It's fun, it's not that long. You get to see the pages come together from blank to designed. You'll get to learn a little bit more about my template. That video is available in the library right now, so check it out. This is the second part of that where I actually dive deeper into how I'm using my journal during the month of March with specific goals and intentions. And I will go into deeper detail about what those goals are. I do this because I want to share my heart with you and my life, but also I'm hoping that maybe some of these ideas will inspire you and that you can adapt them to your life in whatever way that makes sense. March for me, the kind of overarching big theme is preparation. That is what's on my heart. It just feels like a timely season to get ready to receive. And for me, that looks like a little bit of inner housekeeping. So without further ado, I will explain specifically what I mean by that. Let's dive in. This is Journaled by Steph, a YouTube channel all about bullet journaling. Thanks for watching. Before we get into goals, let's start with the blank page. My bullet journal technique includes a lot of magazine collage, which is a very low-skill way to create visual appeal. Before creating my pages for the month, I pre-curate a stack of clippings that have a similar color scheme and feel. Then I use those clippings to fill in my monthly pages, including this spread for goals. I place the images where I like them. In this case, I only have two because they're a bit larger than what I normally use. And I use washi tape to set them. Because the washi tape isn't very sticky, I'm able to lift up the collage and use all the space underneath it for writing too. This gives me full real estate for my goals, but still keeps the page looking pretty with colors and images. So now that we're set up, let's talk goals. In the spirit of preparation and doing some inner housekeeping, I'm starting with practices to realign my mind and body, and I'm using simple habit trackers to help me follow through. The circle tracker is a challenge that will stretch me, literally. Creating more space and openness is part of how I want to prepare this month, and regular stretching is a key part of my plan. I'm a big believer that the mind, body, and spirit all overlap, and when I open up my body, I notice that I start to feel more open in other areas as well. Unfortunately, I'm quite terrible at stretching consistently, so this tracker will help me to grow in that area during these weeks. The second tracker will help me to realign my mind. In February, I tracked daily Bible reading. This month, I'm going to add daily prayer. This probably won't surprise anyone, but I like to write out a lot of my prayers. I have a whole separate journal for that, and I imagine that it will get a lot of use this month. I don't have a goal for what I pray about or how long I pray. I just want to pray consistently and with intention. And I have a little box for every day of the month to hold me accountable to that goal. So that's March's realignment focus. Let's move on to some other ideas. Part of my preparation this month is to get ready to receive new and good things in the days to come. In order to do that, I know that I'll probably need to let go of some things. Usually this includes things that I'm futilely attempting to control. To help me, I've created this simple side-by-side list. On one side are things I need to let go of. The other are things to keep. I'm hoping that this visual will keep me centered throughout the month. My list of things to let go of includes trying to control what others do, what they say, control the past, unforgiveness. My list of things to keep includes what I do and say, how I use my talents, how I invest my time and resources, stuff like that. Speaking of time and resources, Let's move on to the next section. I'm calling this next section inventory, and you'll quickly see how it's another way I'm realigning. My vision for this section is to slow down and take an inventory of how I'm spending my time and money, and to visualize what I observe. Now, in an ideal world, of course, how we invest our money and our time should align perfectly with our desired values. In the real world, however, these two things don't always line up. Even more so, we often believe that they're in sync when in fact they can be quite at odds. I know this from personal experience. This creates friction, and my goal is to remove this friction before heading into spring and summer. Now, I generally believe that I have a good grasp of where my time and money goes, but I confess that every time I do an inventory like this, I'm surprised at the gap between my perceptions and reality. These surprises often require a bit of a tune-up for my priorities. I suppose that it's possible that this month I'll take my inventory and discover that my values and my expenses line up smoothly, but I seriously doubt it. Rather, I think that I'll uncover areas for growth. And this will be good, because then I'll be able to make a plan for that growth. Perhaps I'll even revisit this exercise in a later month this year to see how far I've come. That could be really encouraging, so stay tuned. Regarding the logistics of the inventory, I've set up a layout for a bar graph for time. Each bar will be a general category, like work or fitness or socializing. I'll use a digital timer, probably Toggle, for the actual tracking and adjust my bars each week. Likewise, I've set up a pie chart for money and will do the same thing with budget categories. I'll use a spreadsheet to track my actual expenses and complete the graph at the end of March. Once the graphs are complete, I'll have a clear visual of how I'm investing and space for notes on any changes that I want to make. My last big section is my take on decluttering this season. I'm calling it the Great Giveaway. As a bullet journaler with 5 years under my belt, you can bet that I have had a decluttering challenge every year, sometimes multiple times a year. Spring in particular is a favorite time for me to declutter. In previous years, I've focused on things I no longer use or duplicates I don't need. This year, I want to take a twist by adding a new category to the list. Things I love. Yes, I realize that this sounds funny. After all, the most common decluttering advice is to keep the things that spark joy and get rid of everything else. Getting rid of the joyful things seems maybe unnecessarily harsh. I don't mean it to feel that way. Rather, I've really been curious about this gospel idea of extravagant generosity, and I've been wanting to experimentally press into it. In that practice, cheerful giving is what actually sparks joy, and I aim to see if this is true. I figure that March is a perfect time to combine both a seasonal declutter and an experiment in a new way to live joyfully. The Great Giveaway then is a simple challenge where I make short notes of items I've given away. Some might be decluttered, and others might be things I love that I feel inspired to gift. I might even end up buying things just for the purpose of giving them away. So we'll see. I have 30 spaces for this challenge, but no set deadline really. So even though I'm starting it in March, I'm not pressuring myself to finish by the end of the month. I'll keep adding to this list throughout the year until it's finished, however long that takes. And of course, I have a box for notes in case I really do encounter joy and I want to record the experience. Last but not least, I reserved a small corner labeled Divine Expectation. In this space, I'm cultivating the anticipation that my inner housekeeping this month will draw me toward the divine. Maybe an encounter or experience or an insight. I can't predict what that will be, but I am standing ready and I'm eager to see what happens, and this space is for me to make notes about it. Well, that is the full March spread. What do you think? Personally, I'm inspired and I already am feeling a bit challenged. I expect that parts of this month will be uncomfortable, but I'm also hoping that the discomfort will lay the groundwork for new growth in spring and summer. What about you? What inner housekeeping is on your heart right now? Can you copy or adapt any of these ideas and apply them to your life? Let's prepare together and anticipate new things to come. Well, that is it. Those are my March goals and intentions. I don't know how the month will play out, but I do know that just by framing it in this way, I am more likely to accomplish my overarching goal, which is to prepare myself to receive new vision and inspiration for the months to come. So I'm certainly inspired. I hope that this gives you ideas for how to prepare the soil for good things to come in your life. Leave a comment in this comment section of the video if there's something that you want to share, an idea that you have, something that you're preparing for. I would love to hear it. And as always, I want to invite you to journal along with me. That is a free email subscription that I offer every month. You get 3 to 4 emails. One of them is this page reveal video before anybody else gets it. And you also get a couple other videos that just share about how I'm applying what I'm journaling to my actual life. So it's fun. It's fun to join along. I'd love to hear from you. I will link to how you join in the description of this video. Again, it's free, so I'd love to see you over there. And until then, I hope you have a wonderful month. I hope your goals are inspiring, encouraging, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.